That was the mantra my parents repeated after I graduated high school, planning to work me to the bone. The thought of living that way for the rest of my life was unbearable. I was determined to escape, no matter the cost. I had no idea then how drastically my choices would alter my future. My name is Fiona, and I'm 40 years old. I work and live at a hotel owned by my Uncle Henry. We're not just a part-timer. I'm the front office manager. It's been over 20 years since I first set foot in this hotel, all because of an event I'd rather forget. Today, I want to share that story with you. I grew up in a typical rural town. My father worked in an office, and my mother managed our home. We were an ordinary family, filled with love and care like any other. But everything changed with the birth of my younger brother, who was born 10 years after me. At last, our family had a boy. Our future seemed secure. My parents were overjoyed. Dad's family home was just an average house, not linked to any particular business. In our rural community, boys were still preferred. Girls were seen as temporary investments. Eventually, they'd leave home, while a boy would stay and bring home a hard-working wife. It didn't take long for them to start neglecting me. I was thrilled to have a little brother, and with being 10 years older, maternal instincts kicked in. I wanted to take care of him, but my parents warned me sternly, "Don't get too close to him. Who knows what you might do to our precious boy?" They would leave cheerfully, leaving me behind. Daniel, as they named him, quickly became the center of their world, adored far more than they ever had cared for me. "Let's get dressed, Daniel, and go out. Today we'll buy you anything you want," they would say with enthusiasm, while I was left behind. "Fiona, you stay and do the chores, clean, do the laundry, and prepare dinner. You're not as endearing as Daniel." With those words echoing in my mind, I desperately sought their approval. I followed their instructions meticulously, trying to be the perfect daughter in hopes of winning their affection. But no matter how hard I tried, their love never returned to me. Daniel was showered with games, clothes, and toys without end, and my parents indulged him endlessly. Then, a new revelation came to light. Daniel is exceptionally smart, like a gifted child. They discovered he was highly intelligent, with exceptional abilities. According to Mom, a medical checkup revealed his IQ was above average for his age. "He is a genius. We've suspected it since birth," they boasted. "Indeed, you are our child. We look forward to your future." My parents' devotion to Daniel only grew stronger. Their indulgence reached new heights as they took him on trips to stimulate his curiosity and spent lavishly on his education. The money poured into Daniel's upbringing far exceeded what a regular salary family could manage. Our finances were quickly drained and poverty set in. In their quest to provide him with the best possible learning environment, my parents borrowed heavily from relatives and friends. By the time I was graduating high school, the worst was yet to come. "You don't need an education, do you? Once you finish high school, start working and earning money," they told me bluntly. I had never imagined that my own college dreams would be sacrificed for Daniel's education. I was eager to go to college and study, but my parents were enraged by my aspirations. "Our family isn't wealthy enough to waste money on someone useless like you. Your grades aren't even that great, so don't be selfish. Investing in Daniel is clearly a much better choice than spending money on you." Despite my desperate pleas, my parents' decision was final. "We have no use for someone who doesn't contribute. Our priority is all that matters." Their words crushed my spirit. I felt like an unwanted child. That day, I cried bitterly, cursing my unjust fate. In the midst of my tears, I remembered Uncle Henry's hotel, a place we had often visited before Daniel was born, when I was still loved and cherished by my parents. With those memories in mind, I decided to go to Henry's hotel. "Is that you?" Henry and Jennifer, who were cleaning the front entrance, hurried over when they saw me. Overwhelmed by relief and shame, I broke down in tears. They listened patiently as I recounted my story. After I had finished, Henry said, "I'm sorry you've had such a hard time, Fiona. Why don't you come work here? We're always short on staff. If you don't want to stay at home, you can work with us." Henry smiled and immediately contacted my parents. "I'll take care of Fiona from now on. You can do as you wish with her." "Fine, use her however you want. Just make sure to send us the money," they responded. "Understood, but as an apprentice to earn $600, that's the most I can offer." $600? That's far too low. "Look, I'm not doing this as a favor. I'm hiring someone with no experience. She'll be living and working here, so we'll cover her board and lodging. After those deductions, $600 is fair. It's not charity. Henry's tone was firmer than usual. I worried I might be entering a difficult situation. Was his reassuring smile merely a facade? Despite my hopes that my parents would object to the terms, they agreed. Fine. We need the money anyway, but make sure you draw up a contract stating that she won't complain about our arrangements. And so, I ended up working with Henry and Jennifer. Don't worry, Fiona, Henry said with a reassuring smile. Everything will be fine now. But I wasn't ready to dive straight into work. I still wanted to go to college. Of course you can, Henry assured me. How about making studying and enjoying college life your job here? Jennifer suggested. Is that really a job, though? I asked, filled with uncertainty. Jennifer nodded in agreement with Henry. Yes, you'll have plenty of time for work when you're older. For now, enjoy being young. So, after graduating high school, I enrolled in college and helped out at the hotel during breaks. Fiona, you're so talented. Why don't you try some crafts? Henry offered. Really? I'd love to, I responded eagerly. And tonight, we're having steak for dinner. You like that, right? Jennifer added. Really? That's awesome, I said with a smile. Henry and Jennifer, who had no children of their own, treated me as if I were their own. After graduating from college, I decided to continue working at Henry's hotel. You don't have to feel obligated to stay here. There are other places you could work, Henry said. No, I love this hotel. I want to work here and learn more than I could at any other company, I replied. Henry and Jennifer were deeply touched by my words. The hardships I faced with my biological parents seemed distant compared to the happiness I found at the hotel. As an employee, Henry and Jennifer became like family to me, and I appreciated being valued as an individual despite the challenges. 10 years had passed since I first arrived at Henry's hotel. I wondered how Daniel must be doing in high school now. As I reminisced about the past, I continued cleaning the guest rooms. Suddenly, I heard a familiar voice. Hey, what's going on here? I turned to see my parents, whom I hadn't seen in a long time. Where's the money? We haven't received this month's payment. What's going on? Where is she? She's supposed to be working properly, right? My parents demanded, confronting Henry and Jennifer. Come inside, Henry said with an unusually stern expression while Jennifer looked at my parents with icy disdain. The five of us, my parents, Henry, Jennifer, and I, sat down for a discussion. My father was the first to speak. What's this about? Fiona's salary should be sent monthly. Why hasn't it been done this month? We need that money. Daniel is starting college next month. How are we supposed to pay for it without that money? Don't worry about it. Is Daniel attending a private university? I felt a bit detached from their conversation. Remember the agreement. You promised not to interfere with our employees' matters, Henry said firmly. That's absurd. Fiona is our daughter, my father retorted. It's quite something for you to say that after neglecting her for 10 years and only caring about the money, Jennifer responded coldly. But their concerns remained focused solely on financial matters, as if on repeat. Just give us the money. Do you have any idea how expensive college is? Calm down. Daniel will be working at the hotel starting next month, Henry announced. What? Even I was taken aback by this news. Why is Daniel going to work here? My parents asked in confusion. I received a call from him last month. He was eager to work here, so he sent his resume, and we conducted a phone interview. He impressed us, so we hired him on the spot, Henry explained with a smile. Hold on a minute. What do you mean? We don't approve of this without our consent, my parents protested. That's precisely why we're glad you're here. Please sign here to approve, Jennifer said, holding out a document. What? It dawned on me. Henry and Jennifer had anticipated that my parents wouldn't come unless it seemed like their own idea, so they had manipulated the situation to ensure their presence. Initially, the money was sent to you at Fiona's request to prevent Daniel from facing hardship. But now that Daniel is willing to work here, there's no need for those payments anymore. That's why we stopped the transfers, Henry explained. I had no knowledge of this arrangement, as I had left all financial matters related to sending money in Henry and Jennifer's hands. I won't accept this. Daniel is exceptional. He's not like those who are useless without a college degree, Dad exclaimed, pointing at me. Not attending college? What are you talking about? Fiona graduated from a state university, Jennifer said. A state university? When did you? I began to explain, I've already graduated and am working here at the hotel. What? I was speaking to my parents for the first time in nearly a decade when another guest entered. I'm living here from today, Daniel announced, clad in his hotel uniform. Daniel. Mom covered her face in disbelief. Daniel, you look great. Is the uniform fitting well? It's fine. I look forward to working with you, Daniel replied, bowing to Jennifer. Mom tearfully confronted Daniel. Daniel, you're a smart boy. You shouldn't be doing this kind of hospitality work meant for anyone. You're destined for more dignified work. I'm not smart. I had poor grades in high school, according to Dad and Mom. Doesn't that make me useless? No, we never meant that. You used those words to keep Fiona from going to college. Then I surely don't deserve to go, right? But nowadays, not going to college is considered embarrassing. As parents, you've embarrassed your own daughter by preventing her from pursuing her education. How does that reflect on you? We believed in your potential and invested heavily in you. That was never my request, Daniel replied. Each of my parents' words was swiftly turned back on them by Daniel's sharp wit. He's too quick, I thought, his responses more adept than a seasoned comedian. As my parents stood speechless, Henry added, You see, the kids have grown far beyond what you imagined. Mom countered, But what about the 18 years we spent raising him? Look at everything we've done for him. Daniel shot back, The same could be said for Fiona. Consider how much she suffered because of your selfishness. Bravo, I thought, grateful to Daniel for articulating everything I wanted to say. I couldn't have expressed it so effectively myself. I'm leaving home, Daniel declared. If you don't sign the approval, I'll reveal everything you've done to Fiona to everyone. Rumors spread quickly in the countryside, and I doubt you'd want that, Jennifer said, her smile devoid of warmth. The countryside is indeed unforgiving. Everyone knows each other, and rumors spread like wildfire. Bad rumors, especially, can turn into real calamities, I added. They were well aware of this, having lived in the rural area themselves. Let's avoid making more noise than necessary. Please leave, Jennifer said, her smile dismissive as she ushered them out. I stood protectively in front of Daniel, ready to shield him. From now on, please leave your child to us. I, too, managed a smile as I saw them off. Unbeknownst to her parents, I had been meeting with Daniel in secret since I left home. Sneaking around to see him without our parents' knowledge had been quite a challenge. I was concerned about Daniel growing up in such an abnormal environment. As he got older, he began to recognize the issues within our family. Despite everything, we had forged a sibling bond in secret. That was quite the comeback, Daniel. Well done, I said with a smile. And Daniel replied, That was all part of the script from Henry. I just added a bit of my own improvisation. Maybe you're cut out for acting, I suggested as he prepared to leave. Are you really going to work here instead of going to college? I asked. Well, I'm not great at studying and my grades weren't the best, so I decided to work here instead, he explained. Do you have a specific goal? What do you want to do, Daniel? I want to become a chef. That's why I asked Henry to hire me so I could learn cooking here. Ah, that makes sense. If cooking is your main interest, I know of a culinary school about 50 miles from here. Would you like to go there? But school is expensive, and I don't have the money, Daniel replied. Don't worry, leave it to me, I said, pulling out my mobile phone to show Daniel my bank statement. Where did you get all this money? That's what I've saved over the last 10 years, I explained. I want you to use it. I've been saving a bit for my part-time jobs and hotel salary since college, anticipating a moment like this. Let me do something clever for once, I said with a smile, tapping my chest. Daniel's eyes filled with tears as he looked at the statement. He passed the entrance exam and was admitted to the culinary school, where he lived in a dormitory due to the distance from the hotel. After graduating, we traveled together, sampling dishes at various restaurants. Now, he's the chef and owner of a restaurant specializing in creative cuisine. He's truly the talented Daniel I always knew, excelling not just in cooking but also in business management and consulting. He seems to relish the daily challenges of his work and occasionally returns to the hotel to discuss cooking and new business strategies with Henry and Jennifer. One day, I'd like to return to this hotel after gaining more experience, Daniel said. Since then, my parents, shamed by their children's departure and exposed by neighborhood gossip, have fled their home. Who leaked the information? The house had become toxic. It's best to stay away from it. Selling their children was reprehensible. I want nothing to do with them. The house is now considered hazardous and they live in isolation quietly somewhere else. Occasionally, they contact Henry and Jennifer, hoping to hear from or see their children. "You don't have children. We're taking care of them," Henry would say. "No, but they firmly rejected us," my parents would reply. As for me, I continue to work diligently every day as the front office manager. Recently, Henry and Jennifer made me an intriguing offer. "How about eventually taking over the hotel?" Henry proposed. "We know it's a demanding job, but we believe Fiona can handle it." "Hotel manager?" Jennifer asked, visibly aged and clearly looking forward to retiring and enjoying the rest of their lives. "I understand. I'll do my best to repay your kindness," I replied without hesitation. "I'll need to stay calm and composed, considering I'll be the hotel manager one day. It's been a challenging journey, but now each day feels fulfilling. I used to live carefully to avoid upsetting my parents, but now I'm here, instructing employees to greet customers with enthusiasm and cheer. Life is truly unpredictable. Whenever I see you, you always look so vibrant and full of energy. What's your secret?" customers sometimes ask. To this, I always reply, "Perhaps it's about living each day with dedication."